Super Smash Bros. It's a series that only ekes out new installments once a console generation, and when they do, it's all Nintendo fanatics talk about.
Really for Smash. Really for Smash.
And there's good reason for that, as the Smash Bros. Franchise is flat out brilliant, as it allows friends and families to come together with iconic or oddball Nintendo characters and crack some skulls in a unique, engaging, tense, and wacky brawl. And the latest installment in this beloved franchise is a landmark, as for the first time ever, Smash Bros. Is finding a home on a Nintendo handheld, allowing us to settle it in Smash wherever we go. And the Wii U version's little brother is quite the fun romp. Right off the bat, it does take some time to get used to playing Smash on a handheld, since it's awkward using the circle pad rather than an actual joystick just because of its flat design, so it will take a few hours to warm up to. But overall, the controls work great. Now if there is one thing that I look forward to the most in Smash Bros, it's hands down the new characters joining the ever-expanding roster, and Smash Bros 3DS features the largest character selection that the series has ever seen, with a whopping 51 fighters in total. That is an overwhelming number of characters, and you may just well get lost at the character select screen trying to find a particular fighter in the lump of icons.
Wherefore art thou like?
And what's impressive is that the great majority of them are very distinct in how they flex their muscles in the ring, making each one feel totally different from the next. Some of the newcomers are even my new designated go-to characters, such as Pac-Man, who likes to do the Waka Waka, and Little Mac, who has insanely powerful ground attacks at the expense of his air game being vomit. Bye bye. Sure, there are a handful of clones like Toon Link or Lucina, but they still have certain unique attributes. They may feel like padding to the game to further flesh out the already giant roster, but even when excluding them from the pack, there are so many other unique fighters to pick a fight with that their inclusions are not that big of a deal. Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 3DS also has a healthy number of single-player game modes, which is something that I was really hoping for since I don't have many people around me to play with. First and foremost is the iconic Classic mode that is returning with an updated spin to it. Considering Masahiro Sakurai was the man behind the 3DS's own Kid Icarus Uprising, he yanked the intensity meter from that game and slapped it into Smash Bros, and I'd rather like its inclusion. Just like in Uprising, the higher you set the intensity, which costs gold mind you, the better the upgrades and collectibles you'll win along the way, at the cost of the enemy AI being tougher. And that leads me to another point. While playing Smash, I noticed that the AI has been greatly improved, and I found them to be pretty darn challenging. Trying to beat Classic mode with an intensity level of 8 or higher can be tough stuff, and it's something that I haven't even accomplished yet. And that new boss at the end? He's brutal. Overall, I like the added tweaks to Classic mode, such as it being shorter and the branching paths help alleviate the tediousness to a certain degree when you come back to play as all 51. And if Smash Bros. Is to have its own flagship mode, it's no doubt the new and never before seen Smash Run, which is something that will only be found in this version of the game and not its big brother. Designed very much like the City Trial mode from Kirby's Air Ride, which makes sense considering Sakurai was also the director behind that game, but here we get an added Smash flair to it. It's actually really fun as you and 3 other friends or computer-controlled opponents get 5 minutes to run around a giant map to collect as many stat buffs as possible, from treasure chests or obliterating enemies before time runs out. There's just something really addicting and satisfying about clobbering the enemies and collecting the power-ups that I can't really explain. But at the end of the 5 minutes, all 4 buffed up players get thrown into a match to see who will come out on top. And to keep it interesting and add an air of mystery, the rules to the end match are completely random, so sometimes it'll just be a free-for-all fight, a team-based match, or even more obscure objectives, like seeing who can kill more enemies. Smash Run is a really cool mode and it works well, but the one major problem with it is that it doesn't support online multiplayer. You have to have a friend in close range with their own 3DS and a copy of the game, or just face off against the AI. It's a really big letdown, as Smash Run would be something I would sink more time into if I could actually play with other human beings at all times, because a computer opponent doesn't really cut the cheese. The other big single player mode besides Classic and Smash Run is the All-Star mode, which has you facing off against every character in order from the year they first made their debut. It's a nice change of pace from the Classic mode, as your damage percentage continues to accumulate after every single round, so you'll need to play your cards right. One thing I did notice in All-Star mode though is that the AI is watered down compared to the rest of the game, and that is even on the hardest difficulty. Just a few punches to each fighter and you'll send them to their doom, and they don't even put up that much of a fight. But besides those, you've also got your expected minigame type modes to pass some time, such as the iconic home run contest where you send a sandbag flying as far as possible, a list of multi-man smash modes where you take on hordes of Mii fighters, and the new Target Blast, which takes the place of Target Smash and has a slight Angry Bird spin to it. It's not a bad mode, but it's not exactly enjoyable, and in a way, it's similar to the home run contest. and the original Target Smash that it replaced is just overall better, as it actually required more skill and an understanding of the characters. But in all, they are nice little time wasters and something you want to come back and play at certain points, especially if you want to unlock certain challenge panels. But finally, we've got the online multiplayer, which boasts a variety of modes that I wasn't expecting, where you can play with friends or total strangers in the categories of for fun or for glory. For fun is just your typical match of Smash on any stage with all items on, while for glory is for the competitive type who just want to go mono-e-mono on Final Destination, which is the avenue I've been gravitating to surprisingly. The online multiplayer is definitely one of my favorite things about Smash Bros. 3DS, as the AI just doesn't ooze the same feeling as a human opponent. But there is one drawback to playing online: the lag. Thankfully, it hasn't been something I've encountered in every single battle, as lag seems to be hit or miss. Sometimes it will run silky smooth, while other times the game will chug along, have delayed button inputs, or even kick you out because of a supposed network error. I guess it really depends on who you play against, so you're no doubt going to encounter it for yourself periodically, which is a bummer, but getting a battle in that is smooth sailing is great fun. Now, another huge addition to Smash Bros. 3DS, and something not worth forgetting, is the ability to customize each and every character with new moves and equipment. The equipment changes up the character's stats so that you can make a faster Bowser, an even stronger Little Mac, and so on, while the customizable moves allow you to change up already existing moves in small ways to fit your fighting style, and make moves that aren't exactly your cup of tea into something more useful. These added customizable touches are really neat additions, but I haven't been finding myself tinkering with them a whole lot, considering you can't use them while fighting online against random people. But you're free to use them in single player, local multiplayer, or even online with friends, which is nice. When it comes to the visuals for Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 3DS, Sakurai and his team did a fantastic job in using every ounce of power found in the little handheld. The game runs at a near constant 60 frames per second, even with the 3D effect on, and 4 players bouncing all around the stage and chucking items left and right. It does come at the expense of some loading times being a little lengthy, such as when you're trying to boot up the game, but they're tolerable. Of course, the visuals don't look as polished as the Wii U version, but for a system that doesn't have the most power, Nintendo pulls it off. But you may be concerned about it being hard to see the action taking place on the 3DS's tiny screen, but from my experience from using a 3DS XL the whole time, things are pretty identifiable. I can't comment on the 2DS or regular 3DS though, but it may be a little harder to recognize objects. And to complement the already packed visuals, Nintendo crammed a ton of music into the 3DS version, taken from the variety of franchises being represented here. A lot of them are remixes of well-known music pieces such as Wily's Castle from Mega Man 2, Gerudo Desert from Ocarina of Time, or even Mute City from F-Zero. There's really a great selection of music here, and with such an abundance of it, there's a lot to cycle through which will help it from becoming stale. And when it comes to its replay value, well, it's Smash Bros. This is something you'll be pulling out every now and then, especially if you have friends who have the game, so you can get a few chaotic matches in, or even face off against each other in the new Smash run. And if you're just a Lone Ranger though, there's still plenty to do when it comes to the game's single player. There are hundreds of trophies to unlock, challenge panels to beat by completing certain requirements, or even getting all the customizable moves for each and every fighter. With everything that's packed in, you'll be smashing for dozens upon dozens of hours. Overall, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS doesn't come without its faults, what with the lack of online play for Smash Run or the lag issues when trying to play online. But at its heart, Smash Bros. 3DS is a really joyous game. The humongous and diverse character selection is fantastic, there's a healthy dose of stages, the battles run smoothly, the character customization adds an extra layer of depth to the fighters, and it's got tons of replay value. I mean, there's not much else to say, it's Smash Bros. On the go. That should be enough to stop you from watching this video and making a mad dash to the store to pick up your very own copy. But in all, thegamingpixelshow.com finds Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 3DS to be a good game. But that will bring us to the end of this video, and if you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and add your favorites and all that good stuff, and you can stay tuned for more videos in the future. And I will talk to you in the next video, guys. Bye!